In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come from. I think we're live. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleeping, and there is no place I'm going to. Actually, there's a lot of places I'm going to, but you guys can still play a song for me. I play songs for you all the time. Bonjour, Elodie. Who else is here? Hi, who's here? Alicia. Hello, beauty. Hi, you guys. What's going on? I'm doing a live from my computer. I never do lives from my computer. I'm pretty stoked about it. Hey, beautiful lady, I miss you. We need to get together. I'm here. I was thinking about you on Valentine's Day, on the year anniversary. But hello, you guys. Hello, everyone. As you're jumping on, say hello. Let me know that you're here. If you're watching the replay, say replay love in the comments below. I wanted to come pop on and share some of what I'm getting prepared to teach an intro to Elixir class tomorrow. And I wanted to bop on and share a little bit of what's going through my mind and heart right now. If you don't know me yet, I've had a lot of new people connect recently. I'm Amanda Heisman. I am a nutrition channel and an embodiment coach and an intuitive eating teacher. Bonjour, ma chérie. Happy to see your awesome face. Thanks for sending me extra love that day. Love you as well. You're so welcome. So I help women create easy and joyful relationships with food, and I do that with food, body, and self, right? So that those relationships are easy. And I do that a lot by teaching intuitive eating. And I'm real big on moving away from diet and restriction mentality and into the universal energy of nourishment, which is really open and free and pleasurable and divine and sacred in our birthright. So I have a lot more I can say about that, but I want to talk for a second about why elixirs and intuitive eating are a match made in heaven, right? Why I've been jamming so hard about elixirs lately, why I've been sharing so much about elixirs lately. You guys, like, if you're like elixired out, what's going on? I want to address that for a minute because first of all, you kind of have to at least have a basic understanding of intuitive eating for this to make sense, right? So when I talk about eating intuitively, I am talking about unlearning. I am talking about sloughing off. I am talking about releasing cultural conditioning around food and diet and body, right? I'm talking about taking off that whole thing, hanging up that cloak on the hook. If this intuitive eating thing doesn't work for us, we can always pick it back up on the way out. But I'm talking about releasing like guilt and shame and other things around our bodies, around our beautiful bodies, and stepping into nothing but appreciation, love, and gratitude for them. I'm talking about recognizing that every time we nourish ourselves, it's a divine and sacred moment. It's a recognition of the divine in us, right? To be able to nourish ourselves intuitively. Ciao, Alfredo. As you guys are joining, say hi. So eating intuitively is being able to recognize what your body needs in any given moment, right? With food, with activity, with drink, with things like that. And thanks for the great advice from Rome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. One of these days I'll get back to Rome. This is, we might understand this kind of up here, but when we really start to live it, like live in this space of appreciation, of leaving that kind of cultural conditioning around around food, body, and self, like leaving that there's anything wrong with us, that we're anything but a masterpiece, right? And we can be, and holding that dynamic that we can be a work in progress and a masterpiece at the same time, right? Is really important. And so eating intuitively and recognizing the deep nourishment and the deep power we have to change our lives, really. If you guys know my work at all, you know that I really believe that the future of healthcare is not doctors and offices, right? The future of healthcare is education on self-healing and us being able to get really, like, go inward for answers and get really good at asking those questions and communicating with our bodies, right? So Elodie said, I eat things, as you said, like the cayenne and stuff, and it helped. My body loves it. Awesome. So Elodie's talking about, I've just talked about how I teach intuitive eating, but sometimes I like to bridge the gap by channeling the needs of your nourishment body and helping you kind of bridge that gap a little bit, right? Like channel what your body might need in any given moment. But today, why I wanted to kind of give you that prelude, if you will, is that I've really found that elixirs and intuitive eating are a match made in heaven, that they go hand in hand. It's so easy to deeply nourish myself using an elixir. And so what is an elixir? What is an elixir? You know, I was just in Alberta, Canada. I'm back in Florida now, but I was just in Alberta, Canada for 4 months. And it's kind of, most people have at least an idea of what an elixir is up there. But in my communities, folks have been like, what? Like, they get what I mean, but like, what really is an elixir? What are you doing with it? You know, maybe you've heard of a cacao beverage, like what's going on with this? So an elixir is just a warm alchemical vehicle, a beverage to get deep nourishment, to deliver food and medicine and nourishment to your beautiful bio-unique body. That's it, right? However, there's a lot that can go into crafting one. And so if I've put in the caption there, I am running an Intro to Elixir Masterclass tomorrow. It's only $36. You guys are welcome to join if you're like, what the heck is an elixir? But I want to read. So my teacher's teacher, so my buddy, I learned how to craft an elixir from my friend Tyrone, and he's actually going to teach the intermediate class in another couple weeks. So if you already know what an elixir is and you want to dive deeper, he's going to teach that class next month. But Tyrone taught me how to make elixirs. He learned from a guy named Malcolm Saunders up there in Calgary. He's the owner of a superfood store called The Light Cellar. Shout out to all of my Calgary friends. And he wrote a book called Elixir Life, okay? And this is an amazing book. Hey, Patrice. Hey, Danilo. Hey, Susanna. Say hi, you guys. But I want to read to you this short intro, this short passage is exactly why I feel that elixirs and intuitive eating are a match made in heaven, okay? So stay with me. I'm going to read this to you now. It's called, the book is Elixir Life, again, by Malcolm Saunders, and the intro passage here is called For the Love of Elixirs, right? There is more to a delicious beverage than our taste buds alone can sense. Beyond flavor, energy, and refreshment, it's a sacred pleasure. Elixirs provide a comforting lift, a blissful break, no matter the moment. When you first taste an elixir, you'll be delighted to discover something different than a typical green juice or green smoothie. Those who know me know I talk a lot about green juice and green smoothie. This is something different, albeit equally nourishing, right? And you'll notice Malcolm and I use a lot of the same vocabulary when we talk about nourishment. An elixir fulfills the need for energy and satisfies the desire for something deeply delicious, right? You guys know that I'm all about enjoying our meals, right? I'm not about doing this when I eat. An elixir fulfills the need for energy and satisfies the desire for something deeply delicious. They are the ultimate in everyday self-care and nourishment. You know, they become kind of a sacred ritual for me. Elixirs pair the best in modern nutrition. Elixirs pair the best in modern nutrition with ancient herbal wisdom. Whether the preference is to be warmed by a hot drink or refreshed with a cool one, elixirs answer our need for immediate nourishment and long-term health. Elixirs speak to a deeper need for us to be connected to the making of our food in such a way that it offers the opportunity for self-expression, right? A little creativity, yo, Patrice, a little creativity and inspiration to enrich our everyday. I'm always encouraging creativity within recipes. The art and craft of creating attractive, delicious, and nourishing elixirs is achievable by everyone. Along the way, crafters will feel nourished and inspired as their learning supports a delicious and easy pathway to better health. Elixir crafting becomes a way of life as it guides, empowers, and inspires, ultimately recreating relationships to food in a way that brings nourishing superfoods and herbal medicine into each crafter's hands and kitchen. At the heart of this process is a person's individual journey in reviving ancestral food traditions, honoring age-old cultural wisdom, while incorporating the advances in nutrition science and technology. Through this, each person can develop, reestablish, and reclaim a deeper connection with food preparation, and as a result, strategically and intentionally nourish themselves in this modern world. Here in Elixir Life, you'll be introduced to and become familiar with the art and the craft of elixir making, where the best in superfood nutrition and herbal medicine is brought together. You're about to enter a world of healing, delight, sacred, and transformative beverages. Welcome to Elixir Life. Craft the life of your dreams. Hey, Chris. So that was, once again, a little shout out to Malcolm Saunders. That was a reading from his book, Elixir Life, for the Love of Elixirs. And for me, that really brought out why elixirs and intuitive eating are a match made in heaven. What questions do you guys have about elixirs, about intuitive eating? I'm really curious also if this is landing for you in a sense of, have you released that kind of cultural conditioning around food in that there's bad or good? And have you explored for yourself deep nourishment, right? The opportunity to deeply nourish yourselves, to have a sacred ritual, to have pleasure when you eat. You know, I firmly believe that we're meant to experience pleasure in this life when we eat, and constantly, right? So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. And elixir crafting in general has been a way for, you don't have to be an herbalist, right? You don't have to go like study tons and tons of, go back to school or study tons and tons of information in order to craft these elixirs, right? So I am actually breaking it down really easy for us tomorrow. Yeah, connects the ancient with the modern. There's a lot of between two worlds here, right? So we're gonna talk tomorrow. I'm gonna do an intro class. We're gonna talk about some basic superfoods. So I'm gonna talk about ashwagandha, schizandra, nettle, gynostema. I'm going to talk about some basic superfoods that if you're not harnessing the powers of them, you might be missing out, right? On energy, on deep nourishment that could be helping you. It is powerful stuff. Susanna says, so interesting that it connects the ancient herbal ways with our modern ideas. Powerful stuff. It is so powerful. Alicia says she loves it, and she asked a question I'll answer in a moment. But yeah, we're going to do like an intro to some of these superfoods. So this class is for you if you need an intro to elixirs, if you're like, what are elixirs? How do I craft one? If you're kind of like stuck on ingredients or like, which ingredients do I even buy? How do I intuitively, how do I intuit what my body might need? I'm going to be doing some basic elixirs, like 2 to 3 basic elixirs tomorrow, where you can kind of get a sense of what you might need, and that those are kind of more adaptogen based but that are meant to calm the spirit and energize the body. And then in another 2 to 3 weeks, my friend Tyrone, he's going to teach the more intermediate class where we'll talk a lot about we'll dive much deeper, bringing them together, like harnessing archetypes through elixirs, king, warrior, magician, lover, queen, right? So it's going to be awesome. So tomorrow there'll be that introduction to superfoods. We'll talk about the 3 F's of elixir crafting. What are you trying to elicit from your elixir? We'll talk about the 7 components of elixirs, right? So it's not just throwing a bunch of stuff in a blender. There's an actual craft and art to it, and you get to add your own creativity. So Alicia said, do you sip on elixirs throughout the day? So I usually have one. I might have 2. I usually have one either mid-afternoon or before bed, depending on how my days go. I've been experimenting myself, right? I'm still relatively new at this. I've been experimenting myself with what time of day is best for me. Yeah, so I still do like the lemon water, celery juice, smoothie, whatever I want, like that sort of greens in the morning. And then I might have, an hour or so after that, I might have an elixir, or I might need like food, and I might save the elixir until that mid-afternoon time. So tomorrow, noon, EST, elixir class, it's only $36. I made it real affordable for you guys. I found in my group a lot of people were interested in this topic and kind of like, oh, where do I start? So this is where we start. This is where we're going to start. And this is for you if you'd like to deeply, deeply nourish yourself. Let me just take a look for other questions. Thank you. You're welcome. Hey, Tony. Go Bucks. Awesome. Awesome, you guys. It doesn't look like you have any other questions. I wish you a jingle jangle morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world. I'm sending you lots of love for the love of elixirs. Follow the link in the caption above, and I'll see you in the Intro to Elixirs Masterclass tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. If you can't join live, you can still sign up. You'll get the replay, the recording right afterwards. Okay? I love you guys. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow.